Do you have users today that use Power Apps model-driven apps or Dynamics 365 apps? Well, stay tuned because in this episode, we have a special guest, Paul, from Magnetism, all the way from New Zealand, that is going to be showing us some user experience tools to make their everyday lives better. Stay tuned. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Low Code Revolution Show. My name is Elaiza Benitez. I'm a senior advocate at Microsoft, and today we have a special guest all the way from New Zealand from a company called Magnetism. Today, he's going to be sharing some user experience tools for your users for Power Apps model-driven apps and Dynamics 365. I'm now going to hand it over to Paul, who's going to introduce himself and show us these user experience tools. Welcome to the show, Paul.
Thanks, Elaiza. Hi, everyone. So I'm Paul Nieuwelaar, and I'm a product lead at Magnetism. I've been working with Dynamics 365 for 14 years, since the early days of CRM4. And today I'm going to be showing some of our productivity tools, starting with our Infinity Buttons suite, which is showing some custom buttons to help increase your productivity in Dynamics 365. And then I'll show some custom dialogues that you can create with our Dialog Builder product as well. Cool, so we'll jump right into the demo. So first of all, I've got an account here. And if we go into our command bar, we've got this Infinity Buttons menu. And from here, you can see all of the different Infinity buttons that come with the solution. So the first one I'm going to show is some of our SharePoint features. So we've got this Upload to SharePoint button. And basically what this does is gives us a user interface for uploading files to SharePoint. If you know much about the out-of-the-box experience uploading files, you'll know that you can only upload one at a time. There's no drag and drop, so it's a little bit of a clunky experience uploading files through Dynamics. So we've created this interface just to make it a little bit easier to upload files. So if you have some files open on another screen like I have, you can just drag and drop those over. And that'll just upload in the background. And you can also use the browse function, and this lets you select multiple files as well. So really easy. You don't have to have the limitations of the out-of-the-box upload, like having to upload only up to 50 megabytes. You don't have to open the related SharePoint folder or anything like that. It's just a really easy, simple way to upload files. And once we close that, if we flick over to the Documents tab, you should see those have uploaded in the background.
That's so cool, Paul. I really like this because it's actually solving a gap, as you say, where currently today we can't drag and drop files that we want to upload directly into the record in the model-driven app or Dynamics 365.
And you can also see here when you're in the Documents tab, you've got this Upload Multiple as well. So just alongside the out-of-the-box upload, just give users the option to use our new interface as well. And the next one I'm going to show is still on the SharePoint side of things. We've added a new button in here as well. So if you select one or more files, we've added this Attach to Email button. And what that allows you to do is create an email in Dynamics 365 using attachments from SharePoint. So again, if you know the out-of-the-box experience, there's no way to get those files from a SharePoint location on a record and attach them to an email in Dynamics without first having to download those attachments. So this interface gives you a way of doing that without having to download anything. It just makes it a lot easier for users. So there's two ways we can do this. One is from this Documents subgrid associated with any record. So at the moment I'm on an account, but if we have contacts or anything else with documents, then this button will appear here as well. And the other option is if you are just creating an email from scratch or from the timeline, and I'll show that in a second, there's another button in there so you can attach from the related record as well. So the upload can take a little while depending on how big those files are. And once it's done, that will just open up the email. And you'll see those two files automatically attached.
Amazing.
And once this loads, we should see the command bar update as well. And we've got this extra button here as well, attached from SharePoint. So as I said, if you come from an email from the timeline, you can use this as well. And that will give you a view of any of the documents associated to that record. And that's just another way of selecting files. And again, you can select one or more and attach those to the email. So depending on how you want to create those emails, you can do it from the Documents tab or from the email itself. And as you can see, that's attached to those here as well.
That's such a cool tool. It's definitely a time saver.
Definitely. Cool. The next one I want to show is if we come back to our company record and go back into our Infinity Buttons menu, we've got this record to zip button. And what this solves is if you're a company in Europe, you might know you have to comply with the GDPR requirements and people can request copies of their data. And out of the box, there's no real easy way to get a full export of a record and all its associated records and everything if a customer requests it. So if you wanted to, if you had to export everything regarding a customer, you'd have to do an export to Excel for the company and then any associated contacts or activities or anything else that they may have interacted with. So this button is designed to give you a configurable way of selecting what records you want to include and then giving you a single export of all of that data. So you can see here we've got a template set up already, and that basically just pre-configures all of the things that we want to export. So we can go through review selections, or we can just next and go straight to the end. So I'll quickly just whiz through and show what we've selected. So from the account, we've got all of the columns picked. If there was any sensitive stuff that we don't want to include or system fields, we could untick any of those. And then we can pick the relationships. So in this case, I'm doing the primary contact, so that'll allow us to pull in the fields from the contact as well. And then any associated things like related cases, related contacts, invoices, opportunities, anything regarding the customer that we want to include in that export. We can also grab activities, so like emails, letters, phone calls, and those will also be included. And then from each of those tables that I selected, we can just select all the columns from those as well. And again, we can exclude things if there's system columns. And then finally, on the last step, you can just hit download, and that will package all of that up into a nice zip file, which we can then send off to the customer or to anyone else that needs a quick summary of that record and all its associated data.
That's awesome. So, Paul, I've got a couple of questions. So, first of all, the first question is, will it respect the security role of the user? So if they're a user and they're not meant to be viewing the account table, will they be able to select the record to zip file option?
Yeah, so the previous screens that I showed, they'll only show related records and tables that the user has access to. And then when the zip file is actually produced, that will run under the user's context. So they'll only see the records that they have access to as well within those tables.
Ah, that's brilliant. And I did notice that there's a save template button. So I assume you're going to show that next.
Yep. So so at the end of the process, you can save it as a template. So as you saw, I used an existing template. You can create a new one if you want to save your selection. So yeah, and that will basically create that as a template that can be used in the future to save you having to select all those things manually. Cool. So once it actually downloads, I'll just bring that over here. So you can see in the zip file, you've got the account folder, and within that, you've got a CSV containing that account record. So in this case, obviously, there's just going to be one record, and that's all the columns from that table. And then you've also got all these associated tables. So we've got the one-to-manys. So in here, we've got the contacts, the incidents, the cases, opportunities, and quotes. And each of those will have various rows depending on how many records are in those tables. And as mentioned, these are all related to the customer. So all of that filtering is already done for you.
Great.
And then activities as well. So in this case, we picked emails, phone calls, and letters. So there weren't any letters, so that doesn't get included. And for the emails, we also have this attachments folder. So any attachments that get added to those emails will get pulled into here, into the attachments, which is something that the out-of-the-box export via export to Excel wouldn't give you. So this is little extra feature that this provides.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Really useful, especially for those customers over in Europe.
Cool. And then the next one is one that we provide for free. So if you download the Infinity Button solution, this one you can start using immediately. The rest of them come with a trial. But the record to PDF we give away as a free add-on. And what this does is gives you a quick PDF summary of any record that you're looking at. So in this case, obviously, we're on an account and we're on this account form. When we click on record to PDF, that will take the form and all the tabs and columns and everything that's displayed, and it will generate us a nice little summary. As you can see, it follows this layout of the form that we're looking at. So obviously you can customize your forms to include whatever data you want, and then this will just automatically pull those fields through. So yeah, it's just a nice print preview here, and then you can click print and save that as a PDF or print it out to a physical printer if you want to. And that's your record summary. And these colors are configurable as well. So if you want it to match your company theme, everything that you see here is configurable in the settings.
Yeah, I like that.
Cool. And then the last one of our Infinity Buttons package is the clone record. And I'm going to switch over to an event now. So this is in the customer insights journeys package. Obviously, this button does work anywhere. So if you have opportunities or something that you want to clone or any other record in the system, this will show up here in the Infinity Buttons menu. But I've created an event just to show all of the related things that you can clone as well. So the idea of this is you have an event and you have all these related things like sessions. So if you go into like the agenda, you can see you've got your sessions, you've got your session tracks, your speaker engagement, sponsors. If you go over to the additional information, you've got all this other related stuff like team members. So there's no real easy out-of-the-box way to clone a record and pull across all that related stuff. So what we've developed is this clone record button, and you may notice it. The interface is similar to the record to zip. So it lets you, first of all, pick a template to select all the stuff that you want to include, or you can go through and select all the fields that you want to copy, and you can exclude some of the system stuff again. Otherwise, just pick everything that you want to include, and then any related columns. So this is where we can say pull through things like the session tracks, sessions, speakers, speaker engagements, sponsorships, and that will create copies of all of those related records as well. So if you're doing like an opportunity that was, you wanted to copy an existing opportunity or something, you could select like the opportunity products and the stakeholders and things like that, and that can bring all of that across for you as well. Same with many-to-many relationships. So in this case, event team members, and that will just create those associations on the copied record. And if we have any activities like tasks for the event, then we can copy those as well. And then just like in the record to zip, you can select all the fields from those related tables that you want to copy across as well. So I'm just going to click through all of those. And then you just click on clone. And again, as you mentioned, you can click on save template, and that will save those changes if you made any to that template, or you can create a new template. So that will also be linked to this particular record. Obviously, we're on an event, so you can create specific templates for different records. So if you had like your opportunity one, you could set up a different template just for that. Cool. So finally, we just click on clone, and that will create that copy of the event and all that associated stuff as well.
Nice. I like how all of these experiences that you shared help solve like simple tasks for everyday users that are working day in and day out in Dynamics 365 or Power Apps model-driven apps. It's really cool what Magnetism has built.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff has come out of problems that we've seen through our years of building solutions. So like the SharePoint ones, we've had customers that have had those problems, and it's a pain point for a lot of different customers around the world. So we try to create these solutions to solve those common problems that we see.
That's nice. I really like that you listen to them. That's key. And so while we're waiting for this record to clone, where can our viewers find the Infinity solution tool to download?
So the easiest way is probably just to search up Infinity Buttons Dynamics 365, or go through our website, magnetismsolutions.com, and we've got all our products on there. also through AppSource. So all of our products are up on AppSource as well. So Microsoft certified, so you can go through there and add them directly through AppSource.
That's awesome. And because it's on AppSource, that means like you said, it's certified, but the documentation is there as well to help guide users. So that's really good.
Yep, definitely. Cool. So as you can see, that clone completed. So we can just go to the record and so everything gets copied through. So we could update the name. So it's the April webinar now, just to show that it's different from the previous one. You can see all the stuff copies across. We can update the event date. So we'll put that on the 20th. And if we go over to the agenda, we can see all the sessions and everything come through. Session tracks, so basically everything we selected to copy gets pulled across. Additional information, all those fields, the team members. So yeah, everything gets copied across.
Wow. Again, I'm super impressed because as mentioned with the other tools, the other experiences that you showed us, again, it's a time saver because anyone who works with events, especially if they have annual events or similar events throughout the year, being able to clone this is just a game changer for them rather than having to manually create all of those related records to that primary event. So yeah, kudos to Magnetism for this.
Yeah. Cool, and yeah, that's it for our Infinity buttons. The last thing I want to show is just if you have any custom requirements. So a lot of these things that we've built are obviously, as you saw, using pop-ups and dialogues. If you have custom requirements and things you want to build with similar dialogues, we have a dialogue builder product that's basically a developer tool to let you create your own user interfaces. So I've got a couple of examples that I'll show you. So just on this record, I've added this actions, and basically this is just some custom buttons that I've added. So first one is adding contact roles. So this whole interface is fully customized and built through our dialogue builder. And basically the idea here is selecting an account, selecting contacts, selecting roles, and all of this is dynamic. So yeah, fully configurable, and you can build out these interfaces to do whatever you need it to do. So it supports all the different field types, like in this case, a lookup, checkboxes, and all of this is dynamic and pulling from different tables in the system. So yeah, that's a nice user interface that you can build. A couple of other examples that you can do. You can use file import file fields. So you can create like a custom import interface rather than just using the out-of-the-box import tools if you have specific things that you need it to do. And like in this case, you might want to build a contact import where you can import contacts specifically to the account that you're on. You can do something like that and build a little interface, and all of those different dialogues are configurable within JavaScript.
Wow, that's so cool. That's so neat.
And one that we actually use internally at Mag as well is a time tracking tool. So this is just a little preview of kind of what it looks like. Basically, it's just a simple interface for creating the time entry. So you can put in like the ticket number, the date, the time that you spent. So it's kind of like a quick create, but it allows you to do some more stuff and create different records behind the scenes. So in this case, it creates like an appointment and links it up to the case that you pick in here. And yeah, so it's just a...
Oh, wow. So you can have additional logic that will trigger after you've submitted the dialogue.
Yep. Yeah, so this is basically a developer tool. So once you've captured these fields, you can fire that off to a flow or to a custom JavaScript action or something to process it and do things with it. And we can do things like required field validation, and yeah, basically gives you all the different tools. And there's a whole bunch of documentation here on how to use that. So it's all in JavaScript, and there's lots of tools available online. Cool, and that's pretty much it. If you want to build any other dialogues, we also have custom examples on our website as well, showing all the different examples that you can do.
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking us through those tools that Magnetism have built. I can certainly see how all of those would be very useful to customers, not only in New Zealand, but also around the world. So as Paul mentioned, if you want to try out these tools that he's shown you today, check out the video description below. We do have links to both of the tools and in the Microsoft App Store. So once again, thanks for joining us today in the Low Code Revolution show, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.